Zoe, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing an updated contouring and highlighting routine because my old one is very different. And so I'm just going to be kind of showing you what I do and maybe kind of helping you out if you're not sure how to contour or highlight, or giving you some tips and tricks. Obviously everyone's different. I'm definitely not a professional. This is just how I do it for my face shape and my skin tone. You could do it a completely different way and that's perfectly fine. So if I do something wrong, then yeah, still fine. So this is how I would contour and highlight. So I have the rest of my makeup on. I didn't do eyeshadow today, but besides my contouring and highlight. If you want to see how I contour my face, then continue watching. So I use something that is a little bit darker, and this is only for my contour. And this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in medium deep. It's one of the little trial sizes. This is not too orangey. You just don't want to contour with something like an orangey bronzer. That's more for like all over. This is for those hollows and for really carving out your face. If you're looking for a drugstore option, another one I really like is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and these are like really inexpensive and it comes with a lot of products. This is a new formula and I have the shade 750A Caramel Toffee, and they have different ones. What I do is I first start off with my contouring shade, and then I just use this contour brush. This is the Avon contouring brush. It looks like this, and it literally is meant for contouring. It's meant for carving it out. It's going to leave a harsh line, but that's what blending is for. But it's stiff and dense, so it's really easy. It's not going to fly all over, and you have a lot of control with this brush. If you don't have something like this, you can like find the smallest or skinniest brush you have. You can use like an angled brush. You can like squeeze your brush and just really try to be precise. You want to find a smaller, precise brush that'll fit really well. So I zoomed you in so you could see a little bit better. I'm going to be using a tiny mirror, so let's hope this goes well. So what I do is I just take my contour shade and my contouring brush and I just dip it in like normal, tap off the excess, and then some people make a fishy face. It just kind of helps to find where your cheeks suck in, the hollows of your cheek, which is going to be under your cheekbone. Some people have it naturally, some people have to like work to find it, and I'm going to focus the most color back here by my ear. That's where you want to put most of it, and then you're going to slowly bring it downward toward the corner of your mouth, but you're obviously not going to bring it all the way to the corner of your mouth. That's just where you're aiming for. And kind of how I know is like I line it up with the brush with my ear, and you can kind of see where it's supposed to go. And then where it sucks in is where you're going to place it. You're going to look scary, you're going to look intense, you're going to look really weird, but I promise you we're not going to go out like this. So you can apply as much as you want, but how I think about it is you can always apply more. It's hard to take away. So you're going to start with less and kind of build your way up. So try to get them as even as possible, around the same area on both sides, but you're going to be blending it, so that's the good thing. And then I'm going to show you how to contour the rest of your face before we blend this out. So again, taking that same shade, now I'm going to take a really small brush. This is like a crease brush, but you can use something just small, tapered, something that is tiny, because I'm going to be showing you how to contour your nose. Contouring the nose is not something I do every single day just because it takes so much time, and if you do it wrong, and then you got to start all over, and it's a really big mess and time consuming, but it is something I like to do for special occasions or for certain things. So again, do the same thing, except you're going to do it on your nose. So basically the main rule is you want to keep the dark color on the bridge of your nose, but not down the middle of the bridge. You want to keep that part light. You also want to keep the part by your eye light. Everyone has a different nose shape, so sometimes contouring your nose cannot do the opposite effect and make it look bigger. So depending on your nose shape, you can like look up a chart and do different things with your nose to kind of shrink it, make it look skinnier, make it look shorter, make it look smaller, like a button nose. So you can do different things, but I'm just going to be showing you like the basic. It's flattering on a lot of people, not everyone, but most people. So I'm just going to kind of follow the shadow that's already created for me on my face and just go down my nose. And you kind of want to start like where your eyebrow starts and that's kind of like the guideline, and make it as straight as possible. You can use an even smaller brush if you really want to be precise. So now we look even more scary. And then if you want to like shorten this area and make it kind of like a button nose, you can go underneath and connect the two lines. And so now, as you can see, we look great. And then some people even kind of slightly drag it across here to give that button nose appearance. And before I blend it, I know it's driving some people crazy, I'm going to bronze my face first. And the reason I bronze my face first is because it kind of helps blend it all together, and then I do a final blending rather than doing my bronzer after and then having to blend again. It kind of helps me, like, it just kind of completes the look and pulls it all together better, in my opinion. A drugstore bronzer I really like is the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster, and this is just the medium to dark. It's a glow boosting pressed powder, and it looks like this. This is my second one of this. I love it. It's just your everyday bronze color. It's not too orangey, but it's not too muddy. It's not going to make your face look dirty, and it just is natural. It's not shimmery, it's matte, which I like a matte bronzer. Another point I forgot to make is whatever you're contouring with, make sure it's not shimmery. You don't want to contour with anything shimmery. You can use a shimmery bronzer all over your face, but you do not want to contour with anything sparkly. You want it matte. For my bronzer, I just like to take a fluffy brush. This is the Avon powder brush. Sometimes I'll use this Eco Tools like angled brush, but this gets the job done faster and just kind of makes it look more natural without trying. I just dip it in. And I like to start with my forehead. You could also contour your forehead, but I find that's really hard to blend out, so I just bronze my forehead, and it almost does the same thing. So if you have a larger forehead like I do, and you want it to look smaller, you want to take it up at the top into your hairline. I like to make sure it's blended there. And then kind of down my temple, because you want it to all kind of connect. I connect it at the top here, and then I really get the sides of my forehead, and then bring it down my temples. And then I'm going to do the tip of my nose, just to kind of push it back and add that button effect. And then I do my chin. You can also contour your chin if you take that same contour brush and carve it out and do your jawline. But what I like to do is just use a bronzer and do it on my jawline and then on the bottom part of my chin to shorten that. And then I just kind of follow my jawline a little bit. And then I'm going to bronze like crazy down my neck, because obviously you want it all to be one color, and if you're bronzing your face and making your face look more tan, you need your neck to match that. So especially if you're wearing a low shirt, we are going to do the blending part. I'm going to take my powder brush. This is just what I use for powder because it has leftover powder on it and it's clean. It doesn't have any dark colors on it. And I'm going to start blending. So I'm going to kind of start with the easy parts and just get rid of any harsh lines and just make it look obviously more natural. Any brush strokes, but you don't want to blend too much, because if you blend too much, you're taking it away, and you are also making it look muddy and just making your face look dirty. You don't want to look dirty and have brown splotches all over your face. So you want to blend enough where it's not weird looking, but you don't want to blend too much. So you just keep blending. For the nose contour, you either have to get really in there or use like even a smaller brush to blend your nose contour out. You don't want to blend it down. You kind of want to just stay in the same spot, maybe a little bit in, and blend it. Because you don't want to move where you contoured, because that defeats the purpose. For this part, I blend up and down kind of, or back and forth, I would say. You don't want to go too far down and drag the color down. That will not be flattering. If you have to go one way, I would recommend going up, because it will blend with your blush when you apply blush and still do the same thing. But I always kind of blend back and forth, kind of bring the color towards my mouth, and then just really go in circular motions and blend. I like to take my angled brush with a little bit more bronzer and apply it on top of that contour and a little bit above, because when we go to finish blending, it looks more natural than just having a dark brown stripe down your face. And it'll blend with the color on your temple, with the bronzer you applied up here, and it kind of all matches instead of just having one dark shade. So it kind of just helps it blend better. Now I'm going to be doing my blush. My blush changes every day. I mean, I have a lot of blushes. It depends on what color I'm wearing or what kind of season it is or what I'm in the mood for. So I like e.l.f. blushes. The studio ones are $3 and they are amazing. And this is the Berry Mary blush. It was one of the Christmas ones. So this one's like a cranberry shade, and I think it looks good on a lot of skin tones. I have their Candid Coral one, which is a peach. They're really nice. Another good brand is Wet n Wild. They have really nice blushes as well. So it's up to you. I use my Avon Angled Blush Brush. This looks like this because it kind of gives me the shape I like. And then tap it off. I love blush, so I'm not scared of color, and I know people don't like putting red if they already have a red face, but if you're putting it in the right areas where it's supposed to be, it looks nice. People get scared of that, but it looks good, and it kind of makes you look happier, it makes you look younger, it makes your makeup look brighter, it makes you look more awake, it makes your cheekbones stand out, it does a lot for your face that people don't realize, so that's why I like blush. And then I just smile and apply it on my cheekbones, on the apples of my cheeks. And I just start going to town, and I'm not scared because I know blending will be fine, so I kind of bring it up to my temples as well, so it doesn't just stop up like randomly in the middle of my face. And then I do like to kind of bring it down into that contour shade, so you won't have just a white line in between. And then just blend. Again, you kind of want more color back here and the least amount of color up here. And another tip I like to do is I try not to apply it too close to my nose or too close to under my eye, because you're going to be doing the opposite. So you want to kind of keep it back farther. You can even not even do it right here if you don't want to. Some people apply their blush a little bit higher. Some people apply their blush a little bit lower, kind of where the bronzer goes. It's up to you. You can also look up a chart for your certain face shape. It'll do certain things to your face. I just kind of apply it on my cheeks just because it works. We're just going to blend. I'm just kind of showing you that you can be heavy-handed if you're a beginner and still make it look good. And I just blend until I'm satisfied. You don't want any streaks. You don't want any harsh lines. But you don't want to blend where the color goes away. You just want to blend enough where you're good with it. So again, I kind of blend the blush down into my contour and then blend it up into my temple and into my hairline. If you're not as heavy-handed as me, you won't have to blend as much, but I always apply too much because that's what happens. But we are almost done. My favorite part is highlighter. This is the Mega Glow highlighting powder, and this one is in the shade Precious Petals because the other one is way too dark. It's for darker skin tones, and it goes again by your skin tone. So you can see this one is super pretty. It has like a design in it. You probably can't see it with all the bright lights, but you'll see it on my face when I show you. It's really, really. This is what your traditional fan brush looks like. This is the KCO fan brush, and it's from Beauty Brands, and it just looks like this. It's just your traditional fan brush, and the reason these work really well for highlighters is because they look like a fan. No, I'm just kidding. But because they feather it on and they put it exactly kind of how you want it. Another thing I like to use is this giant fan brush. I got this in a kit. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's ginormous. Some people use that for contouring because it's so big, but this is so fast, so easy. It gets it all in one step. It sweeps and sweeps, and it does the same thing, but it's a little bit more dramatic because it picks up a little bit more product. But I like this a lot better because this one tends to leave lines. This one just kind of whoop. But another method I like to use is a tapered, smaller brush. This is the Real Techniques setting brush for setting under eye powder because it's small and fits there well, but I just use it for it. You can buy a tapered highlighting brush, and the reason they say it's tapered is because it kind of angles to a point as you're going up. Now this one is going to pick up a lot of product. It's more dense, it's going to pack it on there, it's more dramatic, but I use this one when I'm using a highlighter that the color doesn't really come off too well. Like if this isn't picking up the color and the highlighter itself is not dramatic enough, this helps you build it up a lot faster than having to try to dig in with these brushes. This actually just builds up more. I'm going to use my big fan brushes because I love it, it's amazing, and I'm going to just pick up some product and I'm going to go to town. So this is going to go above your blush on your actual cheekbone on the high point, and not underneath your eye, but like close to underneath your eye. So like I said, it builds up and you just go. And then I like to take mine again on my temple and above my brow because I don't like when it just like stops, and I kind of make like a half C shape or like a C shape. Look at that. Oh yes. And then some people like to take a little underneath their brow. You can also do that, and you can also put some on the inner corner if you already didn't do that with eyeshadow. It all matches and it brightens up your face and really highlights your face. You can do some underneath. You can use highlighter as an eyeshadow, but yeah. Then another thing I like to do is go down my nose, down the bridge of my nose. I just go straight down, as straight as possible, and I try to just highlight. And then some people like to do the tip a lot because it gives you like that button effect. And then I take my finger and I like to do my Cupid's bow, which is this part of your lip. And it makes your upper lip look bigger when you apply your lip product. And then again, it just highlights that area. And then I take a little bit on the dip of my chin, because the bronzer goes on the lower part and then the highlighter goes in the middle of your chin. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Comment any video requests you have down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe for more and hit the bell to get notified when I upload. I'll talk to you guys later.